Hey, this is Mike. A lot of people will request that I do a review of my own car. It's a little bit older car. It's got dents and scratches and, you know, a whole bunch of miles, over 150,000 miles on it. But hey, if people are interested, here it is, 2006 Acura RSX base model. It's not the high-end speed demon one, but I think it looks good, and it's been very good, very reliable car. Gets a really good gas mileage. If I'm just on the highway, I can get around 38 on the highway. I got close to 40 one time, but you know, just around normal driving through traffic and all that stuff, it gets around 30, 31, around in there. But let's go ahead and check it out. It has 16-inch aluminum wheels, and when I first got it, the rotors were rusted because it sat on the lot, and I'm actually at the dealership that I bought it at, Van Underwood Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Whiteville, North Carolina. I used to work here, and so this car sat on the lot for 6 or 7 months and nobody bought it, and I was real surprised, and I really liked it, and I finally was like, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it for myself. So anyways, the rotors were really rusted, so I went ahead and bought some cheap eBay cross-drilled and slotted rotors to go on it, and they work really good. They're quiet. I mean, the car stops on a dime, and it came with a ceramic pads, so it was a pretty good deal. I forget how much it was, but it wasn't very much at all, so I put them on myself. Okay, so you can see, maybe you can see them a little bit better here in the back. And I had my windows tinted there at Show Rides, which is right over there. They also washed it up for me today, so it won't be too dirty, since I do a lot of driving, so I get bugs all over it and dirt and all that stuff. The headlights were faded. I had to use a series of sandpaper and rubbing compounds to get them to where they're at now, which is not perfect, but a lot better than what they used to be. They were really faded, and that's pretty typical with plastic lens headlights. And also this one, you see it shows the fog lights there at the bottom, but actually those are just placeholders, because when I first got the vehicle, it didn't have one of the little covers on the, so like the higher end package would have the fog lights, so this one just had plastic covers covering those holes, and one of them was missing, and I could not find one at a decent price to replace it. So I just bought some cheap fog lights and put them in there as placeholders, and they're not even hooked up, so they don't actually illuminate or anything. I just put them in there as a placeholder. The window tint made this car really look awesome, and you can see it has a bunch of little door dings. It's had that since I got it, little door dings on the sides. And the guy that does the tint, he does an amazing job. So I've got the legal tint on it. You can see out pretty good. So there's the inside of the passenger side, and all black. And everything, that's one thing about this vehicle, the Acura, this particular one, I don't know, I have experience with a lot of other Acuras, but the interior has really held up really good. So, you know, some older cars, the plastic breaks or gets brittle or cracks and stuff like that. There's absolutely none of that going on. The dashboard is perfect. The seats are surprisingly good condition for a vehicle of over 150,000 miles. It has some places here, which it was like that when I got it, but nothing's spread and gotten worse or anything like that. And it did have the rubber mats in it, which I was super happy about that, because they really protects the carpet and everything like that. So the back seats, they got a bunch of junk in them, which I'll show you that in a second. Let me go ahead and pull this up. I've got a amplifier just resting down there, hooked up, and I got all my camera equipment back here. But the back seats, hardly anybody sits back there. I just, you know, use that for you know, putting my stuff. And then I've got a little trash box there. You can see some trash in it right now. So back here is looking pretty cool with the red and the blue. I really like the color combination. It really stands out, it gets attention. And then I have the, I got this done as soon as I left my job and I started doing YouTube full time. Like the hour after I left, I went ahead and put that on there. And I got that done at Show Rides as well. They do a really good job on all kinds of different things for cars. Okay, so it's got a single exhaust back here for this 4-cylinder engine. And see, nothing's, other than the paint. I mean, the paint is faded on top. But as far as like the emblems, none of that's cracked or fallen off or anything like that. So now there is one issue that a lot of people talk about, and I haven't had any problems with it. I had it one time, and then it hasn't done it since. The seal on the back of the tail light will, some of them will go bad after a long time. So when water comes in, it flows in and gets through that seal, and it'll actually flow down and underneath the spare tire, and you won't have any water anywhere else. You'll just see water in the spare tire. And I noticed that one time. I was like, what is this? Looked it up, that's what it was, and I was gonna replace the seal, but literally the past year I haven't had a single problem with that. So keep my fingers crossed. But anyways, here's all my junk back here. I got a JL Pro Wedge amp subwoofer, which sounds amazing. That is amazing. Look how small it is, and it's completely out of the way. And I'll tell you what, when people hear it, they think I got like 212s back here or something. It's absolutely awesome. Highly recommend that. It's a little bit on the pricey side, but you know, that's a sweet sub. Okay, so I got all my camera equipment, mounts and stabilizers and all that stuff. Just a bunch of junk. I got to keep a cooler with me because it's extremely hot, so I have to keep water and, you know, have some fruit with me and stuff like that. So anyways, you can't really see, you know, the overall capacity, I guess, of the trunk. Also, there used to be a cover. Originally it came with a cover, a cargo cover. It was missing when I got it, so that's one thing that some people might have that I don't. And there is I just put that shade there because it kind of helps out with the summertime, and I just drive around like that, leave it on there. Oh yeah, check out these tags I got made. I got this. The reason why I got these made is because some vehicles don't have tags on the back of them, and it kind of, you know, doesn't look too good. So I went ahead and had these made up. This is like a Japanese tag, or the style of a Japanese tag, and I put my name there. But so that way I have some kind of plate to put it there, and then, you know, of course it has my name on it, which is pretty cool. And also I recommend everybody to have like a whole bunch of supplies. This is like a box with all kinds of tools and just random stuff that, you know, you might need if you're, you know, break down or something like that. Definitely handy to have something like that. Okay. All right, so the fuel door is here, and here's how you open it up. That. So when you open it up, this is really cool. I noticed a lot of other vehicles have little places to hang your fuel cap, but I like the way this one is. So I unscrew it, and when I pull it out and the little string gets tight, it automatically pops up this little ball. You see how it just kind of pops it up, and then you can take it and put it right there. Isn't that awesome? I mean, I'm like super nerdy, so I like that kind of stuff. But I thought it was awesome that it just, as you pull it out, it goes right into position and you can hang it. So that way it doesn't scratch your paint or anything. So that's one place on the car that's not scratched or damaged, is right there. So it's everywhere else, that's all. So yeah, the paint is faded up here on the roof and here and on the hood as well. Go ahead and start it up so we can hear the engine run. All right, so let's take a look under the hood. Check out the 2.0 liter 4-cylinder iVTEC engine right there. Dual overhead cam. This thing's pretty quick. It has like 150 horsepower or something like that. But it goes pretty good. I was kind of surprised. Well, I shouldn't be surprised. It is that, you know, VTECs have that ability to surprise people. So, and that's why I bought it, because it had a VTEC. One thing I've always wanted. You know, before I drove this car, I was driving an '89 Mazda truck, and you know, that's all I can afford. So this one's a little bit of a higher step up from that for sure. But it's something I used to have a CRX back in the day, and I really wanted a VTEC, 5-speed VTEC Honda. So this is about the closest I can get for the amount of money I can spend. So I'm really happy with this car for sure. And of course, I always put synthetic oil in it, and change the oil regularly, and you know, try to maintain it as much as possible within my small budget. Also, I put this little iVTEC sticker there. That's not original, but I put it on there because I thought it looked cool. What do you think? Okay, so let's take a look behind the wheel. Listen to that stuff. Thing's got a killer sound system. I spent like $59 and got this radio. It has no CD player because I don't use CDs, and I just put in a little USB plug. It's like a 16 gig USB flash drive, and I just put a bunch of songs on there and plug it in, and I can, you know, listen to stuff for you know, all the time. So, and it's real easy. I just put it in there. I don't have to worry about, you know, fumbling around with CDs. Plus it has auxiliary input, so let's say I want to listen to a podcast or something off my phone, I can plug in a auxiliary cord and in there, and I can, you know, play music right off my phone. It doesn't have Bluetooth, but you know, that's something at the time I didn't really at the time I didn't have a phone when I bought this car, so I didn't have a cell phone or anything. But anyways, so that's why I didn't get the Bluetooth. So over here we've got the, you know, power windows and stuff, and this one's the automatic. So, and every once in a while that automatic feature will not work, so I don't know if it's gonna go out soon. It has the heated side mirrors, which are adjustable here. Cruise control, I just leave that on all the time because I always use cruise control. Sunroof, you can control that right there, just open and close basically. And here's the interior gauges, all white, which is really cool, but at nighttime everything turns red. Like literally, you can't see the white, everything just turns red at night, so that's awesome. And so you notice there's like the check engine light on and the airbag light. The check engine light, I've plugged in and checked the codes. That's for the catalytic converter. And when I first got it, it teetered. Sometimes it was on, sometimes it wasn't. And I found out the catalytic converter has a 95% efficiency ratings, or if it's anything below 95% efficient, it's going to trigger a check engine light to come on. So it turns on and off, or turned on and off for a long time, and now it's on all the time. So now, you know, it's definitely below and staying below the 95% efficiency. So eventually I'll, you know, get around to saving up enough money to put a catalytic converter on it. So as far as the airbag light, I don't know. I have to take it to an Acura dealer and have them look at it. So I'm not sure if I want to do that or not, but anyway, those lights are on. All right, so let's take a look here at the steering wheel. You got your cruise control settings here, and it's leather wrapped, and you can see it's pretty good condition. All the leather's tight. There's a little bit of it peeling off around here, but it's very tight and comfortable, and you know, it's a little bit smaller than average steering wheel, so it's not like you can easily get one of those covers and slip on it. I've tried to put a cover on it, and it's a little bit too small. And there's my radar detector, which I really don't use the radar detector to, you know, like speed everywhere I go. I'm not like one of those type of people. But I would like to know if I'm actually being clocked. so I don't want to get a ticket. So if I'm driving and there's a cop right there clocking me, then I want to know it so I can check my speed. I mean, that's pretty much the main reason why I have it. I don't want to be just like, you know, not paying attention, and you know, a radar detector could definitely avoid that. So I'm usually getting passed by everybody else because I don't really drive super fast. I'll you know, use cruise control, and then I'll just, you know, jam out with my radio, and I'm good. So climate controls here, and one of the things about the climate control in this car is they're not backlit or anything at nighttime. So literally at night you have to turn the light on so you can see to change your climate control. It does have an automatic setting, so you can set the temperature and put on automatic, and it kind of does its thing. But you know, I like to fine-tune it sometimes. So that's a little bit of a surprise when I first got it. So down here we've got a power supply. There's also one back here on the back of the center console behind that cup holder. There's a power supply there. That's the two that it comes with. I always have water with me. So here's my cup holders, and this little thing opens up. Isn't that magic? There was cup holders there. Now there's a little pocket. But it has this little place here where you can close it, and then there's a little tray there, so there's my other USB flash drive, and you know, just put random stuff in there that I might need. So that's that. And so here's a shifter, 6-speed manual transmission, and this is my little remote control for my radio. And I know you can reach up and grab it, but it comes in handy, you know, so you don't have to actually look at the radio. You can just change through whatever I want without having to look at the radio. I can just kind of push the button and you know, just kind of resting here, and I keep it right in this little place, which seems to be perfect. There's the emergency brake, and then I put my clip-on sunglasses and junk and stuff in there, and then an extra cup holder there. A lot of cup holders. It has 2 in the back, 1 there, and 2 up here. So that's 5 cup holders in this little car. Glove compartment's jammed full of junk, but it's pretty good size. There's the rearview mirror. It's got the night mode and everything. I put this little camera mount for in case I want to put a little action cam and record my driving. Actually, it's an adhesive to the glass, so I just went ahead and put it there. This one's got some tap lights. Originally had the just regular light bulbs in it, and I put LEDs in there, which is a little bit wider light. Same thing on right here as well. And then the sunroof is pretty cool because you don't actually have to open up the shade. So I can open up shade if I want to, but I can just go ahead and push this button and it opens up the shade for me. At the same time, it opens up, and the actual glass lifts up, kind of pops up. Alright, so inside the visors, we got a mirror there. A mirror without the cover on that side. The visibility is a little bit better without that little shade thing there, but I can still see pretty good. Alright, so there you have it. There's my 2006 Acura RSX. And really, I did make a video of this a long time ago, but you know, I didn't have any experience with it. It was actually just a quick video I'd made on the lot, actually trying to sell the car, but I eventually bought it. So anyways, thank you for watching. If you have any questions or anything, I'll try my best to answer it. Let's see here. I bought this car when it had 116,000 on it, and now it has 152,000. So I put a lot of miles on it, and it's just been over 1 year. I just renewed the tag, so I put a lot of miles on this car in a fairly short period of time. So anyways, awesome car. I love it. I love this car. And anybody that's had one. Another thing I want to mention, it was a one owner. It had 116,000 miles on it, never, the exhaust was never tampered with. The intake, everything was completely stock factory. A lot of these cars are, you know, people try to soup them up and they mess around with them, and they, you know, change the exhaust, they change the intake, and you know, that's just an indicator they're really pushing the car hard and stuff like that. So I wanted one that was just kind of really babied, and when it sat on the lot for 6 or 7 months, I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it, you know. So it worked out good for me. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.